Hi, Tribeca Film Fellows. My name is Jakara Garraway. I am from Boston, Massachusetts. I currently go to New York University for filmmaking and with a minor in art and public politics. If filmmaking, was like CoverGirl, I feel like I would be one of the new emerging faces of what the future of Hollywood would look like. And if this is not a brag or anything. This is just an honest observation from what I'm seeing right now and from what I think will come. So I I spent most of my life just being really comfortable with people not recognizing my existence or being undervalued and ignored. It was kind of how I survived for a while. It was really hard to communicate with people just on any level. And so most of my meaningful connections in life early on came from characters within books, movies, and TV shows. I began mostly doing 2D art, cartoons and everything, as young as elementary school, made comics and everything, and that is how, I don't know, my cred started to climb up and people started to recognize what I could do as an artist. From there, I went to adding writing along to these cartoons, and then eventually I would just stick to writing and just write full-on stories. And then from there, I eventually went back to adding visuals, but moving images, so really starting that filmmaking tier. So, what are my aspirations? Well, I think the biggest one that pops off at the top of my head is I really don't want to have to sacrifice my happiness or any true passions of mine just to be financially stable. Being a 20-something-year-old in this day and age, a lot of times you're first asked to be well, you need to learn about making money first, and then something like a hobby like art or something could be thought of later. And I'm nah, there's no later in my world. There's it's either now or never. I really want to be a media mogul, to be honest. A face of a new wave of branded content is how I would describe it. It's my whole name tag there. I really want to make a hybrid of a production company and a film school. I don't want other people who have the same dreams as me and the same passions and all that to feel really left out of this amazing movement. I also really aspire to have my own watermark, my own brand of authorship. I know you don't really need one, but I'm really digging how some people know it's your film by the style and the way it looks, and I want that for me too, I want to work that out. What makes me really excited about this industry? Well, first off, it's okay, this is the closest thing you have to magic. You could just have all this control over a story, over a world, and I really feel powerless nowadays, It's just seeing all this happening, all this stuff all over the world, and you just kind of feel like you don't have any control, but wow, when I make a film or when I make a short video project, when I write a story, that's all me right there. It's hard to explain in these little words that I'm throwing out at you, but the bigger point is that it gives me a sense of power where I never really felt I could have power. I just really want to help preserve the brilliance of storytelling and remaster it for future generations like it was preserved for me. I strongly identify with African American diaspora, just trying to figure out who you are because there isn't much told about you or your history or anything. A lot of that is what I'm currently dealing with. And I also really relate to just the stories of personhood in general, especially with people who have came about discovering themselves in a really not so easy way. I really vibe with women who just think abstractly about their own femininity, and I really want to discover and help other people discover through making films and being a part of this media industry of letting them know it's okay to reconstruct that in their own image because it shouldn't be decided for them how a woman is or should be. I identify heavily with fluidity and making work that goes beyond just one particular medium, it flows in and out of all these different things. We need to make stories that can't be easily explained but all the more deserve to be given the chance to be promoted, to be spread out, and to be talked about. I just really want to be a part of that and move it forward, but also create my own spin on it. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and hope to meet you all soon.